Hey my friends, it's Lisa here from Arcane and Stellar with a pick a card reading for you, and in this reading we are getting to use my new past life oracle. Super duper excited. I kickstarted this back in May and it finally came, and I thought I have to do a past life reading. So I thought that this reading could be fun. I think the first one I want to do with it really is just maybe like a love based one. So I thought maybe I could look at your past life love story, like what happened to you guys, what was the vibe of your past life. And yeah, anyways, and of course now if any of you are interested in a past life reading, you can probably ask that in on my Etsy and stuff like that, because I have some really fun cards for it. So yeah, with that being said, and then I do have to say thank you real quick to Izzy for the After Tarot. I've been digging it so much. This is an amazingly cool deck, and so that's going to be for pile number 1. But we have 4 piles, guys. 1 here with this opalite, 2 with the Dreaming Way Tarot and the Desert Rose, and then of course we have pile number 3 here with Howlite, and this is the Vivid Journey Tarot, and then the Tarot of the Divine here on number 4 with Rainbow Moonstone. So of course use your intuition to guide you to the correct reading. I'm going to be doing live shuffling this time because I feel like, I don't know, I just felt like that's what I need to do for this reading. So anyways, so you got to deal with the live shuffle today, but I will see you in your reading. And of course, if you want to have a personal reading, that is available down in the description box. There's a link to my Etsy store where you can purchase a reading, as well as my Amazon wish list, like Izzy did here with the Afterway Tarot. I always do readings as thank yous in return for Amazon wish list gifts. And Mitzi, if you're watching this, I emailed you about thanking you about the DVD, the Roy T. Garden DVD, and I still haven't heard anything back. So in case you're watching this or listening, check your email or your spam, because I really emailed you and I haven't heard back from you. So anyways, guys, take care, and I'll see you in your reading. Hey guys, if you chose pile number 1 with this opalite here, this is going to be your reading. And I did pull 3 cards here in between the intro and now, just kind of to see a vibe here, I guess, for the I guess what you need to know about this past life love of yours. Okay, I feel like this is a clear message that there's still a bit of an attachment here. I feel like, and this is a general reading, so we have to be careful with I can't, like, only give one option here, because I feel, and I think that's why the Four of Cups came out in particular, but I feel like a lot of you are going to meet or have some sort of emotional connection in this lifetime with your past life love. Okay, now for some of you there might be a missed opportunity, or for some of you your past life love is around you in spirit but not in the physical realm this lifetime. For some of you it may be that your past life love has not come back into this life, at this time. So for some of you, especially if you have dreams about a specific person, or you have this feeling or something like that, it is likely that person. For some of you. Now, for others of you, you may have already met this person and didn't notice, or you might know them and you don't notice them, because there's a little bit here of this Four of Cups, not really paying attention or something like that. Again, maybe you haven't awoken to this person quite yet, or you haven't quite seen them. Sorry, kind of sounded like I said him, but I said and then it was, I want to clarify that. Say it clearly. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging in. So Spirit Guides and Angels, please guide this reading to give the utmost truth and accuracy for those that choose pile number 1 about their past life love story. So start telling me about the past life love story. For those that chose pile number 1, I respond to this pile. Okay, so we have Northern Europe popping up here as a location. Uh-oh, hold on. That's too many of them. I'm going to just take one at a time. So Northern Europe is the location in which you lived in your past life, and where this probably all went down. Tell me more. Okay, we have Executioner. Oh my goodness. And then we have Sorcerer or Sorceress. Uh-oh. Okay. I think that there's a good chance here that this relationship ended. via execution. And with sorcerer and sorceress, I'm feeling as if there was some sort of magic involved, or witchcraft or something like that. I'm guessing, I know that Northern Europe, Scandinavia in particular, had some witch trials and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a one for some of you. It's funny, I actually saw a movie not too long ago that was kind of about that. It was on Netflix. I can't remember what it was called, but I think it was I want to say a Swedish movie. And it was about how they had all these witch trials, and I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? Okay, so spirit guides and angels, let's get into this more. That kind of went... Okay, I think the deck said that when you get the lines falling like this, you take both of them. Special intelligence and knight. Oh, okay, so the defenders. Interesting. So we have special intelligence. So I'm assuming that one of you, or that it was involved, that there was someone kind of spying. Because when I think of special intelligence, I think of like a spy or somebody who was kind of like researching or trying to dig up things. And I have a feeling this is kind of a witch trial type of deal, okay? For a lot of you. And then we have knight, so that's like a defender, somebody who's trying to, well, someone might have been a knight literally, or had that kind of persona there, okay? Let's see here. Tell me more about their past life love story. We have imprisoned here. So executioner and imprisoned. So at some point in your past life, you or your past life love were imprisoned. We also have a hunter. We have late Middle Ages popping up here as a time frame. So we have a location of Northern Europe and a time frame of the late Middle Ages. And we're getting that sorcerer, sorceress energy, magic type of energy. So I'm guessing here, like I said, I feel like there was definitely a witch hunt of some sort. Yeah, so the trauma here is oppression, okay? And broken heart. Death by broken heart. Oh my goodness, okay. Oppression. And then look at what's next to it, fanatical faith. Yeah, this is definitely a love story in which somebody was probably executed or something like that. It's funny because we do have executioner, assuming that maybe your person or you were an executioner, or maybe one that had to hunt for execution. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. Let's see here. Hold on. Too many of these popping out. Tell me more about the past life love story. Exile and trauma here. And fanatical faith again. Here's fanatical faith and exile. So there's definitely a story here. First of all, dying of a broken heart. So I really feel like a lot of you didn't probably make it through this lifetime with the person. I think that there was probably a lot in between. I'm thinking here that many of you, yeah, like I said, there was an execution of some kind, or somebody who was kind of sent to hunt you down. That's funny because we had that hunter one too. So, but there was obviously a love story. So let's see, guys, what's going on here. Spirit guides and angels, how did this love story develop for pile number 1? How did this story start and develop? Okay, I'm getting... oh, okay. It's funny, I saw spinster and it caught my eye. I feel like somebody in this relationship, and I can't tell, it's a general reading, so I hate to like kind of apply, so... you know, which side you'd be on in this kind of situation. But we have the Temperance card, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Hermit. I'm definitely getting a secluded lifestyle. I think that you guys, or your partner, were a spinster of some kind, or somebody who was alone. It's funny, we have the Nine of Pentacles. That's the person who's self-sufficient, who does things on their own. And look at, she's working with the plants. I have a feeling that there was a lot of alchemy involved here. An alchemist of sorts, or a medicine type of person, somebody who made medicine or did herbal kind of remedies here, and was very reclusive. So this is definitely making sense. I can see the storyline here, for sure. Okay, how did the love start? And I feel like this is a very peaceful life the person lived. Like you or your person lived a very peaceful, secluded life. Very self-sufficient. The feminine energy. Look at it. Yes. So basically, this is crazy. Okay. I love it. I'm glad I did it live. I wanted to do it live so that it could really pop out. You know what I mean? And you'd see me kind of shuffling and experience it that way. I really feel how this started is that this person was sent to hunt you. Look at this. We have the 8 of Wands. There's kind of like a hunt. It reminds me, it makes me think of the Beauty and the Beast scene. When they start hunting the beast, and it's kind of like the town goes after things. And this one in particular is kind of really, you know, going after something, shooting a bow. And I feel like this person was kind of sent to identify. But love developed here. Ace of Cups. Love developed. Because there was great beauty here. The feminine was very beautiful. And I feel like this relationship also with the Magician here, it was a discovery for that person, for the masculine in particular. Like a discovery of knowledge and a different outlook. Tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, love developed. I have a feeling that this person helped. And watched out. Like in a protective way. And I see this hawk on there, on the hand, that I see a lot of like perhaps messages back and forth, or some sort of communication, and they didn't offer you up as, like, they didn't betray you. I think that this person was like kind of sent there to kind of get involved, you know, like hunt down, you know, as I mentioned, special intelligence, like kind of like going out there and trying to find information. But with this information was given more knowledge that sort of changed the way that they saw things, or the feminine. And with this Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, love developed over time. And I feel like I said, look at the hawk, how it has the stuff over its eyes. This is like a watchful bird, the hawk is, and its eyes are covered, and I feel like it's like I didn't see anything. That's what the person did. I didn't see anything. And we also get the knights here. So it's a knight here literally could represent a knight, like somebody who, you know, is a knight in that aspect, but it could also represent, because we had it in the cards over here too, but it could also, you know, knights represent loyalty, I think. You know, and maybe there's that duality there, loyalty of whoever they're serving / you. But I feel like over time they were caught in that spot where they didn't know. They knew that they couldn't say anything because there were feelings there. What happened? What else happened in this love story? The Law stepped in here, Justice and the Hierophant, and the King of Pentacles. I feel like some distance developed here, possibly, because look at this. We have the Justice, we have the Hierophant, so we definitely have the Law coming in here, and a husband. I wonder, was there a marriage? Let me ask that. Was there a marriage? for those that chose this, which is, I guess, kind of a silly question because this is a general reading, but see, I don't think there was. I wanted just to double check or confirm, and we got the Five of Swords. So no, it wasn't a marriage. This person probably, the masculine was not able to marry the feminine, probably due to obligations and duties. And then the Star to me represents that desire for the physical, but there was an absence of it. Why the Star? Yeah, why the Star? Because it was all destroyed. The Tower. Which is the preceding card, but it's coming after the Star to clarify. So it's like there was a peaceful moment at one point where it seemed like everything was going good, and then there was a disruption of some kind. I have a feeling that the other people started to notice, like the higher ups or whoever was kind of in charge or running this show. You know what I mean? Got involved here, and it was, yeah. And there's oppression here. Like there wasn't. It wasn't allowed here. And we have exile, fanatical faith. Yeah, see, it was ruined, I think. And did we get a death card? Did we get a death meaning here? Because that's more of like the. I don't think we did. Let's look and see. What was the? How did this relationship end, or what happened? What was the ending of this relationship? Prayer for the Fool. It ended differently for different ones of you. Different ones. I feel like for some of you it did end up in a relationship in that lifetime, and for others of you it probably didn't, is what I'm getting. Because I feel like with the Fool and the Ace of Cups, some took the chance to kind of do what they wanted to do in their relationship, you know, to like take, to become, yeah, to make the offer of love here, but, and even perhaps a proposal of marriage. But for others of you, it might be that they didn't, that it never got beyond flirtation, and because they weren't willing to kind of let go. So it's like both ways. I really feel like it could be either way here, on whether you guys ended up together or not in that lifetime. Now, let's see here. I want to go ahead and pull, how does this past life love affect your current life? What is the current effect on their life in love? So we have the High Priestess. I feel like many of you have a knowing of something. Yeah. This person's in your periphery. Like somehow, maybe just emotionally, or there's an intuitive vibe here for this person. It also might have made you a little fearful of authority in general. Or afraid to show your religious preferences or your spirituality. You might have felt as if that was oppressed in the past, so therefore it's kind of, maybe you have a hard time speaking up about your beliefs. Yeah, there we go, the Hierophant. I do think that many of you, and I know everybody's probably looking for that spiritual connection, but I think it's extra important for you to have that acceptance and love through a relationship of your of your intuition, of your spiritual beliefs. I also, again, kind of get the dual message here. We have that Ace of Cups and the Fool coming out once again, where it's like some of you have a hard time letting go and trusting, versus, and that kind of probably depends on how that life ended, whether that person, you know, bailed or not, because like for some of you they did, and some of you didn't, they didn't, or vice versa, or you didn't. Again, for those of you that were in the masculine position in that past life, I feel as if there's much more acceptance of feminine knowledge and esoteric kind of practices in general. There might be a draw for you to witchcraft, and some of you might be natural witches or drawn to it just naturally. Maybe there's always been a knowing or a draw there because of that past life. But I also get the sense too that in some way you're kind of willing to risk it, to go against the grain. That might be a theme here, going against the grain at times in your life, in love. But that's what I'm getting for you guys. I hope that this was an interesting reading for you. I love doing this. I know it's probably not going to be too popular, but I'm digging those of you that watch it and like it, because I'm super excited. I love doing past life readings. I rarely get to do them, honestly. I get them sometimes, but I've had some really cool ones, and now that I have cool cards, it's going to be even more fun, because usually I just do it tarot. But now I'm going to be able to kind of combine both, and I'm stoked. My Pluto on the IC loves past life stuff. Yeah, so if you enjoyed the reading, let me know. If you have any memories or anything like that, or it triggers something in you, please tell me, like, seriously. Yeah, anyways, if you want to have a personal reading, that information is down below in the description box. There's a link to my Etsy store where you can purchase a reading, as well as my Amazon wishlist. I always do readings for anyone who gets something off my Amazon wishlist, as many of you already know. And yeah, I wish you all the very, very best. I'll see you in the next reading. If you have any requests, let me know in the comments below. I always like to have ideas for videos to do, so shoot them at me, okay? Lots of love. Bye. Hello, my beautiful friends. I chose pile number 2 here with this Desert Rose. Funny enough, I was going to do this reading yesterday, but I had some stuff come up, and I wasn't able to do it. And I had sat down, and it was funny because I actually turned on my Amazon, like, shuffle playlist. It's like, it gives you this My soundtrack, and the song Desert Rose came up by Sting. And I thought, I wonder if this is going to connect to somebody in the reading. And then it only just occurred to me now when I sat down and pulled this deck out with the Desert Rose on it, that memory came up to me. So, again, I wonder if there's something, a connection there from the past life. I know that that's a recent song, but maybe there's something about that song that feels familiar to some of you, or you just, like, feel a draw to it. I wonder. Okay, so let me know if that resonates with you. So, let's see here. Pile number 2, Spirit Guides, Angels. Wait, I'm just going to kind of frame my question here, spray my area, because I didn't cleanse from the previous pile. So, Spirit Guides and Angels, let's get some information about their past life. What do they need to know? Give me 3 cards for what they need to know about this past life. Whoa, that was a fast one. That's literally 3 cards. Give me 3 cards. Here you go, Lisa. They're right here. We have the King of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like some of you are not, like, letting go of this connection. It's still present in some way or shape or form. There's something a physical also that's affecting you from this past life. I feel like for some of you, you might have been born with a birthmark or a physical representation on your body. I've heard of birthmarks. I have one on my back of my neck, actually. Like, it's not really there anymore, but it was there throughout my childhood. A strawberry birthmark. It was like, it would get, like, swollen when I had a fever or something like that. I don't know, but it's funny. I was born with that, and I've heard. So I remember I heard somewhere somebody had said something about, like, there could be an injury back there in a past life or something like that, or there could be it could be a marker from a past life. Of course, many people say it's a witch's mark, or some other you know, kind of stuff. Unlucky. It depends on what, I guess it depends on what you're looking at. But I'm almost feeling like a lot of you have a physical representation in this lifetime. There's a freckle that you used to have in a past life, or something like that. There's just something about your body or something that you have brought into this physical realm from the past life. Let's see here. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Cups. I get motherly energy here with this Queen of Cups. She has a child next to her, so I'm wondering if the feminine... We have fire and water, so that's a that's an interesting combo, right? So spirit guides and angels, tell me more. Let's just start digging in. So we have hallucinations and delusions. It kind of came out like that, but we'll go with hallucinations. I wonder, so we have, that's the card of insanity. So there might have, okay, an obsessive, hold on, I dropped some. So there might have been an obsessive love story here, right? Because love says obsessive here. So your past life love had an obsessive nature to it. We have hallucinations too, and insanity. I want to see how I feel like that comes out. Look at what also came out, illusionist as well. That's interesting that illusionist came out along with hallucinations, because that's kind of like a hallucination, somewhat of an illusion, right? So that's kind of some kind of, there's a link here. Magic and insanity. Tell me more about this past life love story, Spirit. Oh, that's kind of on both here. We have, usually I think with this deck, I read the instructions and they said if it pops up here with this in between, where this is on the top, you should take both of them. And it says Death by Broken Heart, and then it says location Western Europe. So this past life was probably located in Western Europe. And we have Broken Heart and Obsessive Love, which the Queen of Cups in particular, I'm feeling somebody was obsessive, okay? And passive conformity. Oh, the lesson. We also have death by torture here. That actually kind of goes up too, doesn't it? Okay, we have the functioning addict and the enabler. Okay, I feel like this past life love story may have been one in which there was a bit of... There was something going on here. Because look at this. Functioning addict enabler. So there was some sort of addiction, obsession involved here. Because we have obsession, we have the card of addiction coming up here with enabler and functioning addict. I feel like one of you was feeding the other. One of the parties was feeding the other one. Sort of... Yeah, indulgence. There might have been some sort of... okay, I'm going to be honest. There might have been some sort of addiction or... something going on here. Let's find out some more here. Or recovery of some kind. We also have that passive conformity. So it's kind of going along with what's needed to be done. What's the past love story? Tell me more. Psychic wounding. Okay, I feel like okay, we have the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups is a watery energy. I feel like there are quite a few where the feminine in this relationship had abilities. But it was, I feel as if there was some sort of, there might have been a confusion about abilities. I'm wondering here if you have a wound in terms of listening to your intuition. Because of this situation, I didn't even get into how this past life connected to you, or connects to you now. But I feel like if you guys are the feminine, in particular, there was something that went down in terms of you being crazy. Because look at, we have the hallucinations, and we have the illusionist, and we have psychic wounding and passive conformity. I feel like a lot of you were hiding skills that you had, or were punished for them and told you were crazy. I'm wondering how this person kind of fits into this past life here. An easy target. Oh, jeez. Okay. A bully. Okay, I feel like this person might have encouraged you in some way. Okay? Let me see, because we'll see if it's them, or if they, what their role was here. How was the role here of the... Okay, we have the age of discovery as a time frame. Okay, that's a time frame here. And we also have lover as the identity. So, this was a lover. Oh. Oh gosh, okay, I see it. We have the King of Wands here. So, I feel like the feminine in the last life was very sensitive. Very, and very emotionally attached to them. And it didn't go past... towards the masculine, and I feel like the masculine kind of used, again, we have psychic wounding here. Funny. Came out again. I feel like the masculine may have kept their... this isn't the most positive one here. I feel like as if the masculine here was using the feminine a bit, enabling obsession. And that's probably messing with the feelings of the feminine. And we have here self-expression here as a lesson in passive conformity. So there's definitely a message here about self-expression and conformity, which is your lesson from that lifetime coming into this one. I wonder if there was a fear of being, maybe for some of you, this person didn't like punish you for your abilities, but maybe you were hiding them because you were afraid of it being like a delusional hallucination type of thing here. But I feel like that's an important message for you guys. You guys might be ignoring some gifts you have, or again, it might come out in other ways in which you are, other ways. It says other. It might be coming out in other ways, such as like, just feeling like you have to conform, or having an issue with conforming. Yeah, and then we have oppressor. There might have been a little bit of a little negative vibe here. Witness or bystander. Yeah, I feel like what happened here in this past life is that there might have been a bit of a bystander type of status here, where perhaps the feminine in particular, I feel, but I guess it could be the other way around too, but the feminine in particular here was probably a bit psychic, or had some sort of abilities that were, classified as crazy. You know what I mean? And there was that kind of, there might have been some bullies. There might have been somebody that was an easy target for control and abuse, the feminine in particular. And perhaps there was a bit of a bystander type of deal here, with the spouse perhaps, or the lover. Well, it says lover. So again, it's somebody who wasn't really a bystander or a witness, is kind of saying somebody who was there, but maybe didn't necessarily do anything. And we have love affair right here. So it wasn't a marriage. I feel like for a lot of you, this wasn't a marriage. It was an obsessive love connection. So like kind of like, I guess what a lot of people like to label as a karmic connection. So I guess that's what you guys need to hear, about. This is not to say that this is your only past life, by the way. I know that this isn't super positive. But this might be one that you need to hear about right now, because it might be about you know, you might need a message in this past life to bring into this life. I do feel, and it's not that I think that water and fire don't go together. My husband has like a, you know, water, Mars and Venus and stuff, and I don't have like, well, you know, I have my water, I have Pluto and water, but, and some other stuff, but I get the sense that there was a little bit of incompatibility here in this relationship. The feminine was, soft and gentle, and the masculine was kind of about pleasing. There might have been a bit of Leo or something in that person to where they felt like they needed to conform to society, or like, you know, show off or be like, you know, I think, and that's my opinion as Leo rising or whatever, that we tend to, we care what other people think oftentimes, you know, what people, how we look and what people think. So there might have been a fear there in that love story. I'm going to go ahead and pull some tarot and try to find out more about this particular past life. Spirit guides and angels, tell me more about this past life love story. Well, there's definitely infatuation and attraction here. We have the Ace of Wands here, the Six of Swords. Six of Swords indicates movement or perhaps travel at some point. There might have been a journey of some kind. Someone might have journeyed to the other, or there was just a journey in that lifetime, I feel. Hold on really quick. Tell me more about the Six of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there were two different ideas here. I'm going to be honest, I feel as if the masculine in this connection, or this past life, took advantage of the feminine a bit, in terms of the feminine had a big heart and very much in love, and they weren't quite feeling the same in terms of, and there had to be a moving on. So I don't feel like this connection went beyond the sexual realm for them, or the physical attraction. Like, there wasn't a longevity to this. They weren't interested in it. There might have been some sort of gossip or talk, and that's where we get that conformity. Again, it might have been, I mean, this is a general reading, so we cannot sit here and like try to tell, I can't tell you exactly how it went down, because that wouldn't be fair, because all of you have a different little bit of a story, but this is giving us a theme. And either this person, the masculine in this, felt like they had to kind of live up to certain standards, and there might have been some gossip and bullying to the feminine, and although they really liked the feminine, they kind of didn't go beyond. It's like they wouldn't stand up fully, and perhaps even enabled the obsessive love, the feelings, like feeding the feelings. Especially if you've noticed that you attract these relationships in your life, where maybe you get this encouragement, like it's like, you know, you'll have someone message you, they encourage you to get like attracted to them, and then as soon as you kind of step forward, they back off, you know what I mean? Or if you kind of attract that sort of thing in this life, I think this is a bigger confirmation that this might be a past life love story for you, because yeah, I don't know, if you've attracted that, where you get if you seem to get that type of relationship, because it might be something you're kind of already, your soul knows it, and it might be, again, the lesson here is like, as well too, if you're the masculine who didn't conform, you were too afraid of what your family or your friends thought, you know what I mean? Because some of us, we, you know, in this lifetime I'm a woman, but or female or whatever, but you know, in past lives it's not always the same. And the same thing with the love, like sometimes we can have different relationships, like mother daughter, even with like you know, someone in this lifetime we're, you know, have a different relationship with, you know what I mean? So like it's kind of, you know what I mean? So we have the father and the mentor. So I feel like that's kind of what stood there. Older woman, teenage years. Okay. So I think the parents in general were kind of involved here in that conformity. Again, it could be the feminine that felt they had to conform to and hide the abilities, and I feel like that's a big thing here too. That's another part of what we're getting. Oh, sorry, that was too many of them. But this was a young relationship. There were young people involved here, teenage years. And again, we got the obsessive love popping out. One more. And the lesson here is self-love. So non-conformity, self-love. In this lifetime. Oops. We also have Asia here. I think we had Western Europe and Asia. So again, this might have happened in different parts of the world for you guys. But yeah, very interesting. So in this lifetime, you're really being, how it affects you now is that, again, that there's that conformity aspect there, self-love, and accepting also your own abilities. Psychic trauma, getting rid of psychic trauma, the fear of feeling crazy. If you do have hallucinations especially, not feeling as if that makes you fully crazy. You know what I'm saying? And some of you might even have the ability to have those. But maybe you're blocking out some of your abilities in this lifetime because of that. It kind of depends on which, I think, end you're on, whether you were like the feminine or the masculine. So I feel like it's going to affect you depending. But see what you're more drawn to, like what you feel is like more of your issue. And I think that will probably highlight whether you conformed and you lost the love because of that conformity, and you kind of conform in this lifetime and do what people think. And it could be a combo, but on the other hand, or if you like kind of feel, again, for some of you, the lesson here was feeling like you couldn't access, or you felt like you were crazy or labeled as crazy, and then you kind of brought that into this lifetime. And also, like I said, that draw to the esoteric and you know, magic and such, or abilities and such. But as well, I wanted to say the last thing was that again, maybe if for some reason you attract these relationships where it's like they feed you, like they kind of get you like fired up, and it's almost like they enable you to be obsessive over them because they don't want to lose you. You know what I'm saying? And that might be something that you kind of have to get over in this lifetime for some of you, like self-love, via self-love, or via self-love. But again, I think it's gonna, like, this is general reading, so I don't want to like sit here and try to force a specific outcome or something like that. But that is what I'm getting for you guys. I hope that you liked the reading. Let me know what you thought of it. I know that this, like I said in pile number 1, I don't think this video will probably get a whole lot of views. I don't know if too many people are interested in this topic, but I think it's fascinating. I love past lives and stuff. And of course, if you want a past life reading, now I have some cool cards. I did some before, but now I'll be able to do even more fun ones. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how these play out. But anyways, I am sending you guys lots and lots of love. If you want to have a personal reading with me, that information is in the description box. There's a link to my Etsy store where you can purchase readings, as well as links to my Amazon wishlist. And I always do a reading as a thank you for anyone who gets something off my Amazon wishlist. So take care, guys, and I'm sending you, like I said, lots of love, and I'll see you in the next reading. Okay, friends, that chose pile number 3 here with this howlite. This is going to be your reading, and let me replace the desert rose there. And this is going to be your reading. So I'm going to go ahead and cleanse the area real quick and get ready. What is this little hair? I have so many animals. That husky hair gets everywhere. She doesn't even come down here. It just follows us everywhere. So, Spirit Guides and Angels, please guide this reading. Honesty and truth and insight for those that chose pile number 3. What do they need to know mostly about their past life love? What do they need to know about that? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so there's definitely some karma, I think, attached to this past life in particular. The Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Cups. Very interesting. So, what do you need to know about this past life? I do feel like many of you have a hard time picking this one up. I wonder why that is. I guess we'll see as the cards kind of come out. Now, I'll tell you that I'm kind of just picking up one life. Okay, my intention here is to find one life that you need to hear about right now in this reading, right? And that's kind of the intention I'm going with. And so that may mean that this isn't like the most romantic past life love story or the best one that you've ever had, okay? It's more about like what you might need to know or what you kind of need to hear or whatever kind of comes up. So with that being said, I do get the sense here with the Wheel of Fortune that there are... I wonder if some of you are waiting for this person somehow to come back into your life and you're unclear as to where they are or if they will come back, or you're waiting kind of. I also, like I said, get the sense here that you don't see this past life or you haven't discovered it yet, this particular one that I'm picking up for some of you. That may not be for all of you. For some of you, this past life might sound quite familiar, but the Seven of Wands, some of you might be blocking out the memories, okay? For some reason. Now, that could be because it's painful, but let's see. Spirit guides and angels, tell me about their past life love story. Those that chose pile number 3 and drawn to this pile. What's the past life love story here? Give me all the deets, please. Okay, we have star-crossed love. So star-crossed lovers definitely tells us that, oops, that went to flying. Star-crossed lovers, tell me more about this past life love. I wonder if you're always fated or had many lifetimes with this person, actually. That also, with that Seven of Cups, there might have been many different lifetimes with this person in particular, the one that we're going to be digging into, the person you were with, or the relationship you had. And it's always kind of, there's always opposition. Seven of Wands, no shit. There we go, sorry. So, wow, sorry for my swearing. That's, yeah, sorry, it hit me just there. Spirit guides and angels, tell me more about past life. Ah! Too many. Some of you, by the way, are drawn to love stories in which there's a lot of opposition. Some of you might like the love stories that are full of strife and trauma. With writer here too, some of you may even want to write romance stories, or you have had some good ideas, okay, for like romance stories. But I do get the sense that some of you might be drawn to those gritty, like kind of difficult stories, like love stories in fiction and such. Okay, so Spirit guides and angels, tell me more about this past life love. Sorry, everything's so loud around me. It's windy as heck outside right now. Like, the wind is kicked up so hard, and then my son's upstairs. I think he's kind of being loud. So I apologize for that. Let's see, past life. That's too many cards here. Let me try again. Okay, there we go. So we have Eastern Europe, okay, as a location here. So Eastern Europe, and let's see here. Angels, tell me more about this past life love story. Crusades and Inquisition. And we have young male. Hold on, I'll take this one. And we have inheritance as well. Versus love of convenience versus true love. See, that arrow was up there. So there was a question here in this past life, star-crossed lovers. I think that one of you was wealthy. and the other one probably was not. And this could have been during the Crusade era or the Inquisition. We also have a grandparent here. See, this card is kind of popping up right here where we have both of these. So there might have been a wealthy inheritance from a grandparent that was going to be denied. Perhaps if this marriage was to happen, or this relationship were to happen. And there was a choice of love of convenience versus true love. And that's where we get the star card. Yep, peasant, no doubt. Look at that. We have a peasant relationship with the wealthy. So there we go. And so peasant in Eastern Europe, and one that was set to inherit. The feminine might have been, I don't want to say who it might have been, which one, because I know that they show a woman on the card, but that feels as if, you know, that's kind of unfair to kind of assume that it had to be one way or another. Spirit guides and angels, tell me more about this past life. We have a torturer and a witness. Let's find out more about this. Well, we had dementia as well. Natural disaster as well. So this might be in an era when there was a big natural disaster. I don't know if there were any during those time frames. There, it also says death, though, by natural disaster and dementia in particular, and pacifist. Okay, so let's see here. So one of you obviously had dementia, okay? Like, so that's probably living to an older age in particular. And the other one perhaps died in a natural disaster. We have the witness here with torture. So there was some sort of witness of torture happening. I'll try to dig up and see what else happens here. We have a pacifist too. So, which is interesting because that kind of goes together a little bit here. That would make me think of somebody who tried to make the peace, right? What does this say here? Early Stone Age as well is coming up here with time frame as a possibility. But I feel like, I don't know about that. Let's see here. Domestic oppression. So yeah, I feel like what's happening here in this past life, to be honest, is that there was a star-crossed lover situation here. Again, Eastern Europe pops up here as well as, I think that was it, right? Eastern Europe. And it feels as if one of you was wealthy and the other was a peasant. And I have a feeling here, and I haven't said it yet, but I had the feeling, and I'm just going to say it now, I guess, while I'm kind of talking about it. But with that witness of torture, there might have been somebody who, I get the sense that the peasant was tortured, and they didn't do anything back, they didn't fight back. It was like a very passive person. We have friend. So there was a friendship here, that was a bond. With the peasant here, I'm guessing probably one of you, either you or your past life, would be in that position of power, of wealth, and the other one was maybe perhaps working as a peasant for the area that you lived in. And again, we have, look what fell out. I knocked off the Two of Wands and the Three of Swords. So there we go. It's two different lives, you know, Two of Wands, two different ways. There was no way out. It was blocked here. There was no choice. And therefore we have that star-crossed lover identity here with this connection. And I really do feel like that affects you in this life, that you tend to gravitate towards that. And maybe even towards this person, because it's always star-crossed with you guys. I feel like this, out of all the piles, feels more like where you guys repeat the cycles over and over and over with this person. And it's always something here. It's funny, I'm not getting the lessons here popping up. Look at this. Domestic oppression. Look at her. Her mouth is covered. She can't speak for herself. This is somebody, the feminine here, especially perhaps, was really unable to. I'm kind of getting the feminine for damn it. For most of you was more of a wealthy one. This actually almost reminds me of a book I wanted to write myself. A little bit. It's based off of a true story though. But I'm not telling because I don't want to give my idea away. Because I still want to write that book someday. And I know it's a matter of time before somebody else finds that particular story and writes it. Let's see here. Guys and angels, tell me more about this relationship. The Hanged Man, that's very much a pacifist type of card. This is somebody who had their hands tied behind their back. They couldn't do anything. It was a no-go from the get-go. You know what I mean? This was a relationship that could not manifest. I feel like you guys were friends that really admired each other. And the star is fun. It's funny that I said friends and then the star came out, because the star is associated with the Aquarius sign, and the Aquarius sign is associated with the 11th house of friendship. So this was love in your past life with this person. This was a friendship that was very much, again, the star-crossed. Yeah, that you guys dreamt about each other, but you couldn't do much. I'm even wondering if this ever even came into a physical relationship, more so than just loving each other from afar, from a distance, and not being able to grab it. But I feel like there was something though, because there was a torture situation where this person, I feel like, didn't do anything. Yeah, they didn't do anything. So there must have been some kind of catching that happened, or a knowledge of what happened. Yeah, we have the Empress here, so there could have been a grandmother or mother involved. Yep, that saw the spark. Yeah. Look at that. The Ace of Wands. The spark was seen and extinguished. Yep. And everything was balanced once again. Balance was restored, at least according to their society. You know, the society that your past life happened in. I wonder what the lesson here is. I want to... Because, sometimes in these situations, like, how do you get a lesson out of this? Because it's like, I feel like in this situation, more so than others, there was no choice. Like, that was just life. Like, there's no, I'm going to go do what I want, daddy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those things. Like, pile number 2 was more so, like where there might have been some choices there and possibilities. But I don't get that with here. I'm going to put these back here, and I'm going to reshuffle and ask about the lesson and just see maybe what you need to know, or maybe what you need to know about this lifetime. Spirit, guides, and angels. So this past lifetime. What do they need to know in this lifetime? What is the lesson here for the majority? Taking pile number 3. Let's see, that's too many of them. What is the lesson here? Well, we have a ruler with leadership. We have trauma, the psychological or verbal abuse. Let's see here. Lesson, overcoming loss. Maybe some of you felt like you have lost a lot in life. And with ruler here, I can't help but think that maybe some of you have even experienced loss, like with psychological or verbal abuse. Like where, maybe for some of you there was a situation like, where you had a friend or your parent, and your parent said you can't hang out with them anymore, or maybe for some of you, you know what I mean? Like I said, that might be one way in which it's kind of shown up. I feel like there's definitely a lesson here of ruling your own life, being a leader of your own life, right? And also overcoming loss. Let me find out a little bit more. I'm going to ask one more. Oh, that almost came out. Almost. Oh, we have the use of technology. I wonder if some of you might have met this person or will meet this person in this lifetime through technology, like they live in another country or another place. It's possible. Yeah, loss of status or reputation. But see, you have to remember, in this lifetime, you don't have these people. And maybe that's here. The loss of overcoming loss of status or reputation trauma. And the lesson on this is power. Having power. And there's a ruler. So again, you have more power in this lifetime, and that's kind of what it's meant to tell you, or you're allowed to have it in this lifetime, which we live in a great era of the world. I mean, of the the earth, because we do have so much more power, especially I think women in particular, tend to have much more power than they might have in the past. And I really feel like that's kind of the thing here. Again, with the overcoming loss, and that there was that loss of, what did it say? Where was it at? The loss of status or reputation. You can make your own in this lifetime, your own reputation. You don't have to worry about other people. So maybe so much this isn't a lesson for you, necessarily, other than if you're not taking charge of your own life, unless that's really the case. But for some of you, that's just kind of like, in this lifetime, you have a little bit more power over that aspect of your life. But here with overcoming loss, that's hard to do, and that might be something here to kind of like, I don't know, there might have been themes of overcoming loss. Sorry. We have the use of technology. I feel like that means that for some of you, you will meet this person, even perhaps randomly online. Spirit guides, yeah, and then look at what popped out, the Eight of Wands. You might meet them pretty soon. There might be a lot of messages. Some of you might already be messaging this person. Since we have such a story, I'm going to ask a little bit of a different question. For the majority of those watching pile number 3, what is the destiny of this past life love in this lifetime? What is the destiny in this lifetime? Whoop. To be at a distance, but destiny in this lifetime. Okay, here. And there's the Page of Wands underneath. Okay, I feel like, again, the destiny kind of depends partially on you and the other person, of course. Obviously, there's two people to tango, but I feel like some of you might be, I think a lot of you are going to find this person, and they're not going to live near you. They're not going to be anywhere near you. And again, it could easily turn into another, why am I losing him every time, or that him or her every time? Why do we always have to be apart? Why is it that we, look at the same moon, but we are, not at the same place? And there might be that feeling there. But, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Magician, indicating to me that you guys have the power to make this happen. More so than you did before. So you can take more actions, rather than in the past life you couldn't take any action, I feel. It was just not in the cards for you at all. It just got snuffed out, And in this one, but you have the Magician. You have all the tools to kind of succeed. And the Page of Pentacles, you can actually, put in that work. Especially like with that past life love story in particular, it's like, money was the issue, like inheritance and standards and all this other crap. And, it wasn't until long ago, like when women actually could make their own living, you know what I mean? On a regular base, like a regular scale, you know, for all women, not just some here and there, you know what I mean? That kind of are bold enough or able to. And again, in this lifetime, I feel like a lot of you in this lifetime, I don't know what you're, you know, what you identify now or how you're, you know, what that is. But I feel like in the past life, the majority of you watching were the feminine, to be honest, in that situation. But let me know what you thought of the reading. I am excited to see what you guys think. I know that it's a little bit different, and I'm hoping you guys like it. I really love past life readings, and as I mentioned in the other piles, it's kind of like my Pluto on the IC. I'm pretty good at digging that stuff up. I like digging it up. It's fun. I love doing genealogy, past life work, and all that stuff. I love digging. But so it's really fun. If you want to have a personal reading with me, that information is all down below in my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop's down in the description box. There we go. Sorry. And of course, you can purchase readings through there or via my Amazon wish list. I have my Amazon wish list, 2 of them, and anybody who gets something off of there, no matter really the cost, it doesn't matter, always gets a reading as a thank you. So that's another option for you guys if you want that to do like the gift giving way. But yeah, I wish you all the very, very best. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you do remember this lifetime, like what's up. And take care of yourselves, okay? Lots of love. Bye-bye. Hello friends, if you chose pile number 4 here, 4 with this rainbow moonstone in the Tarot of the Divine, this is your reading. And I pulled out a few cards here just to kind of give you an overview vibe, I don't know, to get some messages about your past life. And again, I feel like what's popping up here for me is that I feel that many of you have probably met quite a few people, or at least 1 or 2 failed kind of connections, ones that didn't, perhaps where you had a lot of like strong hopes and desires, and then you maybe even thought that they were the one, that there was this huge connection, and so on and so forth, and then it sort of came to nothing or didn't really work out. For some of you, there's literally 3 of those. But some of you, it won't be that many. I also get the sense here that for some of you, love has been elusive and you've been more focused on career or school or the physical aspects of life in general, health maybe, or, you know, just other stuff, more practical concerns rather than love. Maybe for some of you, like love and enjoyment, you know, and I mean just life and enjoyment and stuff, and then love's kind of been a mystery to you in some way for others of you. So like I feel like it's going to go either way there. I do get the sense here that your past love is present on this earth, okay? So, and I feel there's a good chance that some of you may meet this person, but let's look and see. Spirit guides and angels, tell me more about their past life love story. Okay, we have the Age of Enlightenment coming up as a time frame. Tell me more. Their past life love story. Banishment, forced underground. Southern Europe is the location. So, Southern Europe, we have what? Italy, France, I guess, could be considered. So, Portugal. Wait, did I say Italy? Spain? There we go. Hold on. So, some of you might find that you are connected, or you feel connected to somewhere in Southern Europe, okay? Like you feel kind of a draw there. Maybe the Age of Enlightenment is a time frame that you like, or not. Or you're sometimes with the past lives too, I think that we can have even aversions, especially if there was some kind of difficulty. Okay. Tell me more about... We also have an island in an accident for trauma. Okay. Now the island location. So this might be an island in Southern Europe, which there are quite a few, so... Oops. We have domestic abuse, And we have accident, trauma. Oh, okay. We have the achiever, house fire, and abuser. There was some sort of abuse here, okay? I'm going to be honest. There has to be, because we have domestic abuse and abuser here. So somebody was an abuser. With the Nine of Cups here too, there might have been some alcohol involved. There might have been an alcoholic here somewhere in the life of your past life, whether it's you or them. We also have a house fire and an accident. Oh. I wonder if many of you may have actually had like a drunken accident where there was the fire caught. Sometimes it happens. Actually, a crazy story. My husband, on his side of his family, he had a situation, like my husband's from Siberia, and so often, you know, as it goes, many of his ancestors got sent to Siberia. Some of them were explorers, and some of them are native to Siberia, so natives. But one of his relatives got sent there for doing an abortion. She was a doctor, and she did an abortion, a legal one. But that was a long time ago, in the, long time ago. And then in another case, though, what had happened is one of his relatives, got drunk and pushed his wife, and they had one of those, like, beds that had the spikes, like kind of like a metal bed, like a metal frame, and she fell on the spike when he pushed her and accidentally killed her. And he didn't mean to. It was a fight. It was an accident, but it was a stupid accident, and he did get in trouble for that. It was a long time ago as well, so that was he got sent to Siberia. But that's one of my husband's family stories. I don't know, I can't remember which relative it was exactly. Like, it was just like one of his people in the family. But domestic abuse. Okay, there was abuse here. Look at this, actually. If you guys have been abused in this lifetime, I'm going to tell you that it might be something that you have a theme of. Because look at this. Don't they look kind of angry, these little faces back behind? I wonder if there's been some sort of abuse in your lifetime. Even if it's not through relationships, it could be like in childhood or something like that. It might be that you've kind of attracted this, possibly. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Or you have a strong aversion to abuse. Which, I mean, who doesn't? One normal person wouldn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it bothers you more than it does other people even. You know what I mean? Or there's just something about it. You might also have certain, like maybe for some of you have an issue with alcohol, like you're just born not liking it or having a problem with it, or drinking too much, or it could be the opposite, you know what I mean? There's something there, possibly. But I definitely feel like there was some sort of abuse here, okay? And an accident. Tell me more about the love story. This isn't like the necessarily happiest one, huh? We have a love of convenience. So your past life love story is one of convenience. This was probably an arranged marriage or something like that along those lines. And it wasn't, I feel like, with the Achiever card, knowing history as we know it, I'm assuming the masculine was an achiever, okay? And very respected. Yeah, I don't feel like this love story was one you'd want to repeat. Or if you repeated it, it would be better in this lifetime, hopefully. And maybe in some ways, yeah. We'll see. Oh, damn it. I did too many of them. We have addiction here. Rock bottom popped out here. So there might have been a rock bottom sort of situation. And like I said, alcohol. That's what I was feeling. Even though it didn't, I don't think it came out here. But I felt it from that Nine of Cups. And here we have, like I said, that addiction card that shows rock bottom. Tell me more about their past life. And that might have been their rock bottom moment when they made an accident. That's ruined everything. And this could be you or the other one, by the way. In these readings, and like I said it in the other piles, I feel like, with a general reading, it's so hard to decide which one you are, which one the other person is. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's not. You need to kind of take it as it resonates, because it's hard for me to discern. We have a young female. And a savior hero, saintly. Young female wanted to save this person, and it didn't work. Now, for some, the accident or trauma happened to the addicted person, like the addicted one. And I feel like for some of you, you tried to save that person and also went with them, like down with them, or they accidentally did something to you, or you, one of them accidentally did something to the other, or whatever. I have some images in my head, but I can't really, it's hard to explain them. It went either way, like, do you know what I mean? Like, either their accident harmed them, their own self, the abuser, or vice versa. What is interesting is that this came out social, and we had the forced underground, some discrimination. So there could have been something here socially in regards to this relationship. I know I love the convenience, so there might have been some sort of underground interest. Let me see here. I don't know about the past life. We have lawmaker and lawyer. Gestation period. And we have exiled. We also have, it's interesting that we have the gestation period. I wonder if some of you had a difficult birth or pregnancy. Maybe your mother had a difficult pregnancy, or there was something about your birth that was difficult that's coming out here. This might be just a confirmation for some of you, by the way. Let's see here. I have too many cards here. Hold on. We have psychological or verbal abuse. And we have martyr. I feel like many of you, especially those that, again, I know when we go back in history and stuff, we tend to look at the feminine as probably having more of a weaker power than the masculine. So I feel here with lawmaker in particular and the exiled is that there was a fear of divorce or leaving. And there was also a bit of a martyr complex. Like they didn't mean it, or making excuses for this person. It was a marriage of, it was love of convenience, but maybe there was a kind heart here. There's the island location again. There might have been a kind heart here that just wanted to help. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Maybe you find that you attract those type of people in your life. We also have a musician as well. Performer. So some of you in that past life might have played an instrument or something. Or your person did. Maybe some of you are talented at music or love music or something in this love. Look at this. We also have unrequited love. I'm feeling as if that could have been where the martyrship came from. That one loved the other more. Yeah, we have the husband identity coming out. So, I don't know what that, the husband might not have loved the feminine as much, like the wife in this lifetime. And so there was that situation where, but they kept giving and giving and giving. More than once, that martyr kind of energy came out. So, we had, you know what I mean? So I feel like that was definitely a quality that was had in the previous lifetime. Now, there might have been come to a point where there was wanting to be a divorce, like I said, or leaving, but it wasn't possible. Like, if that would have happened, there would have been an exiling. They would have been, you know, completely messed up if they were to do that, you know. We have scientist here, an intellectual, and other. There might have been a strong interest for animals in particular, and kind of experimenting with animals or taking care of them in general. As well. In this past life. You might have been someone very good with animals, or there might have been a lot of animals around you or something like that in particular. Maybe you bred like some animal, you know what I mean, animals. And then we have trauma, a disaster of some kind. And we had that with the accident as well, like a good Samaritan. See, we have a lot of good vibe, good energy here, but there was an unrequited situation here in which, you know, it just didn't go beyond. It didn't, and then there was an accident. Let me dig in with the tarot. Angels, tell me more about this past life love story. Yeah, here we go. Six of Wands and the Three of Cups. This was somebody who enjoyed themselves, who was social, who was popular, and probably had quite a lot of admirers in general. Yeah, but made a marriage, you know, here at the Four of Wands. There was a marriage. This was a marriage for you guys. For some of the other piles, I didn't pick up marriage, and this is the one pile where there was a definite marriage. There was a husband and wife bond. We have the Strength card. Let me clarify that. Which, to me, signifies a long relationship. But look at, she's kind of grabbing that crocodile by the mouth. So there might have been a bit of oppression, right? The Eight of Cups. One was more emotionally distant than the other. There could have been, like, trips away or something like that, too. I think that there was a lot of love at one point, and then it sort of, I guess over time, sort of became more domestic, and there might have been that attraction at first, and then over time, yeah, here we go, Four of Wands to the Four of Cups. It became disinteresting over time, you know, it wasn't interesting anymore. It wasn't, again, I see these cups and all that kind of stuff. I really think that the masculine was a drinker, and partier. Like somebody who just liked to enjoy themselves and eventually started enjoying themselves outside of the home. Yeah, Nine of Coins. Especially as they maybe gained more money, more wealth, more success, they were more self-indulgent and more taking care of themselves. Like Nine of Cups, Nine of Coins. These are kind of on the negative end of these cards. They can be kind of selfish. Now, let us see. I'm going to go ahead and pull out. I'm going to shuffle these up and go ahead and ask a few more things. because I know I've been kind of long-winded with these readings. So Spirit Guides and Angels, how did this relationship in the past end? I know it said by accident or trauma. So we have the Devil. I feel another thing here, and I'm going to tell this to some of you, but it's not for everybody. For some of you, there was that trauma, that accident, but I feel like for some of you, this one might have, for some of you, if you were like the feminine, or the feminine in general got locked up or something like, kind of like put away to the side. You know, kind of like where they would go live in the country or go live in another place. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Again, there might have been a mistake here made, as I said, with that trauma, that accident here with the Devil. There could have been a bad choice made. The King of Cups here and Seven of Cups. This could be like honestly interpreted as that, like, you know, alcoholic mistake, an alcoholic mistake here that ended up in grief. I think for some of you. That's I can't wait for people to tell me, wow, this is a bummer, Lisa. Thank you for telling me all this. This is amazing. Sarcastically, you know. Oh, let me see. I want to try to find out what the lesson here is. Why are you hearing this? What is the lesson in this, Spirit? What is the lesson here in this relationship? Let's see here. What is it? Truth and discernment. Oh, accountability. Hold on. Okay, I'll just stop there. Truth and discernment and the accountability is the lesson here that you're kind of still learning. First of all, with the truth and discernment, this is seeing the real side of people, not seeing what you want to see. With that martyr and that very sacrificial type of energy that was coming up, I feel like there might have been a lot of excuses made for the behavior in the past life, where, especially if you were the feminine in particular, it might have been that you kind of enabled in some way, not enabled, but like didn't see the truth of the person. And if you find that in your life where you meet people and you think one thing, and that's kind of actually what came out originally, right? See, I've already talked so much, I almost forgot about that. With the Moon and the Three of Pentacles, you might see and think that somebody's something, and then really they're actually something else. And you may find, and then some of you might even stick to these relationships because you want to help them, you want to save them, you care about them, your heart is soft and you want to help. And again, with the lesson here being accountability, it's taking accountability for your own actions, especially for those of you that were on the masculine end where you maybe did the accident, you made the accident, you did the thing, and you still carry, like, you know, it's about making the right choices in this lifetime, because you might still carry some of that guilt in particular for some of you. But again, it might be about accountability for your own happiness and making choices that are wise and stable. Only investing in things that show real potential under the surface, and requiring physical proof of change. That's another thing, not just relying on people's words or what they say, like, oh, like my mom used to always say, oh, watch out for guys that say, I love you, baby, I'll even marry you. She used to always tell me that. She's like, those guys are lying. Especially if they're trying to do something else with you. But, and that might be part of it, that you have to kind of make sure that the proof's in the pudding. You know what I mean? That they're actually doing what they said, you know, what they're saying, and in this lifetime. And that might be why you need to hear this message, because there's a look around and see who's living up to their word and who's not. You know what I mean? And don't let your sacrificial nature, your empathetic heart, or empathic heart, and empathetic heart, like kind of dictate your feelings always, and how you forgive and all that such. You know what I mean? Like stuff. But that's what I'm getting for you guys. I really hope that this was an interesting reading for you, and I hope it resonated, but let me know what you thought. And I know it was a bit long and it was a bit unusual, but I really am excited to do it, so I really hope that at least some of you like it. And I know that many people probably will have an issue with some of the stuff that came up, because I know that it wasn't all like, you know, unicorns and butterflies and hearts and stuff, but this is just one of the many lives you probably have. I think a lot of us have many of them, and this is just one theme that you're looking at right now. And you know what I mean? So anyways, I'm going to send you guys lots and lots of love. Take care. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can do that by going down in the description box. There's a link to my Etsy store where you can purchase readings. And then, of course, there's my Amazon wish list. So you can always do that, too. I always do readings for anyone who gets something off my Amazon wish list. So, there we go. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.